Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. We have an incredibly thrilling exploration ahead of us today.
Oh, absolutely. It is just a phenomenal time to be analyzing the sport right now.
It really is. We are diving headfirst into one of the most explosive, jaw-dropping eras of modern rugby. The momentum is just off the charts. We're unpacking the unstoppable meteoric rise of French rugby and their ultimate quest to conquer their final Mount Everest, the Springboks.
Right. It's the ultimate clash of styles.
Exactly. But before we jump into the tactical blueprint of how they plan to do this, please make sure to subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description.
You really don't want to miss our future breakdown, so definitely click that link.
So our mission today is rooted in this brilliant, meticulously detailed article by Nick Bishop over at Rugby Pass.
Yeah, Bishop's analysis is just crucial here.
It is. And we're pairing that with some incredibly insightful, passionate debates straight from the diehard fans in the rugby community. We are fully embracing Bishop's tactical breakdown to understand exactly how France is dominating and what they absolutely must do to achieve World Cup glory in 2027.
Because to truly understand this French rugby renaissance, we have to look past just the surface-level highlights. We're going to be mapping out the microscopic tactical evolutions happening at the club level.
Right, because the club level is where the laboratory is.
Exactly. And we'll trace how those innovations feed directly into the national team's strategy. Bishop doesn't just tell you that French teams are winning. He breaks down the specific biomechanics and phase play structures that make their attack so lethal.
Which is exactly where we need to start.
Yeah.
Because before we even touch France's World Cup ambitions, you have to grasp the sheer terrifying scale of momentum currently pouring out of the top 14.
Oh, it's a total conquest of Europe right now.
It really is.
Yeah.
Let's look at that doubleheader demolition at San Mamés Stadium in Bilbao. That weekend felt like a massive paradigm shift.
Yeah, you had French clubs going head-to-head with Irish clubs. And Irish clubs are historically incredibly disciplined, right? Structurally sound.
Very structured.
Yeah.
But the top 14 clubs didn't just edge them out, they completely dismantled them. Overall, top 14 clubs outscored the Irish clubs 100-45.
But individual scorelines from that weekend are just staggering.
Insane. Montpellier dispatched Ulster 59-26.
Wow.
And then Union Bordeaux-Bègles UBB took apart a four-time winner in Leinster by a score of 41-19.
Yeah, and that's not some isolated flash in the pan either.
No, the broader stats are terrifying. I mean, French clubs have now won 10 of the last 12 Champions and Challenge Cup finals.
Just completely hoarding the silverware.
Right. If you look at the Champions Cup alone, Toulouse, La Rochelle, and now UBB have won twice each in the last 6 iterations. You combine that club monopoly with the French national team securing the 2025 and 2026 Six Nations titles, and the dominance is just absolute.
It's totally unprecedented.
But wait, hold on. Let me play devil's advocate for a second. We're looking at these score lines, but top 14 president Simon Gillam explicitly noted that money brings money.
Yeah, that's a very famous quote now.
So it's basically a giant corporate monopoly buying up all the competition. Are we just romanticizing a tactical revolution when it's really just superior financial infrastructure?
Well, the financial power of the top 14 is undeniable, right? I mean, capital is absolutely the foundation here.
Because it buys the raw materials.
Exactly. But assembling those materials into a cohesive, unstoppable system is an entirely different challenge. You don't put 41 points on Leinster just by paying your forwards a higher salary.
Right. You still have to play the game.
Yeah. What these French clubs are doing, and the national team by extension, is using their money to import distinct world-class rugby philosophies. They're synthesizing the best parts of global rugby intelligence into a new hybrid style.
Which brings us to the ultimate laboratory for this experiment, UBB. If you want to understand this tactical alchemy, they are the perfect microscope.
Oh, completely. Midi Olympique magazine recently described them not as a traditional French team, but as a fusion.
Like a culinary master chef stealing the best signature dishes from rival restaurants.
That's a great way to put it. They've taken top 14 athleticism and combined it with brutal South African physicality. I mean, UBB has integrated former Springboks like Sean Sowerby and Heine Adams into their coaching setup.
And on the pitch, they've got the massive South African prop, Carlu Sadie anchoring the scrum.
Right, which provides the immovable torque and set-piece stability. That's the engine block.
But the software running that engine is what makes it so fascinating. They brought in an Irish attacking layer, right? Noel McNamara as director of attack.
Yeah, McNamara is a direct protege of Stuart Lancaster. He's widely considered one of the sharpest attacking minds in the Northern Hemisphere.
And that's where the alchemy really happens. He implements these incredibly sophisticated phase plays. But how exactly does McNamara's attack dismantle something like the Jacques Nienaber-style boa constrictor rush defense?
Well, the rush defense operates like a tightening net. They sprint up to shut down passing lanes, basically using the touchline as an extra defender.
If you panic and go wide early, you just get tangled in the net faster.
Exactly. So McNamara identifies the space out wide as fool's gold. The rush defense actually wants you to fling the ball to the wings early.
Because it hangs in the air.
Right. It gives their outside centers the milliseconds they need to slide over and trap your winger behind the gain line. So McNamara drills into his players, ignore the fool's gold. You have to pierce a hole straight through the middle of the net first. Go direct.
And Bishop's article isolates a specific play that shows this perfectly. It's a set-piece play with Louis Bielbieri, Yoram Mofana, and Mathieu Jalibert.
Yeah, Leinster's defense was shooting up steeply to smother the midfield, but UBB had already established the threat of Mofana carrying hard and direct.
So the Leinster rush just hesitates for a fraction of a second.
Exactly. Jalibert gets the ball flat. By squaring his shoulders toward the defensive line, he visually threatens the crash ball, which holds the inside drift defense completely static.
He freezes them. And because he freezes them, UBB can either pop a short pass to Bielbieri cutting underneath or fire a long cutout pass to the wing. They completely neutralized Leinster.
And we know this hybrid system isn't just some delicate European track meet strategy. Look at their incredible comeback against the Bulls in Pretoria.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Playing on the high veld, where the altitude just notoriously drains the oxygen from visiting teams. They went down by 12 points early.
And historically, that's when Northern Hemisphere teams just quietly fold. But UBB scored 19 unanswered points in the second half.
That is unbelievable endurance.
It proves their tactical model has undeniable physical resilience.
Real quick, if you're enjoying this breakdown of modern rugby tactics, please subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description.
Please do. So, taking a step back, this UBB success brings us to a major shift in the sport itself.
Right, the changing rules of defense.
Yeah. Nick Bishop highlights some incredibly revealing quotes from France's defensive guru, Sean Edwards. He essentially admits that World Rugby's rule changes have heavily tilted the scales in favor of the attack.
Because of the ruck speed, right?
Exactly. The laws now dictate that only one defensive player can actively contest the ruck, and they only get one legitimate attempt at the ball.
Which means you can't just pile 3 heavy forwards into the breakdown and turn it into a trench war anymore.
Right. The attacking scrum half is consistently getting lightning-fast possession. Plus, pitch qualities have improved globally. Teams are playing on firm, fast, hybrid surfaces.
Which Edwards said has completely changed his metrics. Keeping a team under 20 points used to be his ultimate goal. Now, he says a good day is conceding 21 or 22 points.
The environment has been deliberately engineered to reward fluid, continuous attacking structures, which perfectly sets up France's ultimate test, taking on the world champion Springboks.
The Mount Everest. Because this is the glaring anomaly. France has conquered Europe, the rulebook favors their high-speed total rugby, yet they've only beaten the Springboks once in their last 8 matches over a 10-year span.
It's a massive psychological block. Look at that heartbreaking 2023 World Cup quarterfinal loss, 29-28.
Just brutal. But the truly terrifying data point is that recent November match. France totally failed a major test. They lost 32-17.
And the context of that loss is just staggering.
Yeah, the Boats played with 14 men for over half the game, and they only had 7 forwards, down a man, missing a forward, playing away from home, and South Africa still won the second half 19-3.
It defies modern rugby logic. It exposes a foundational vulnerability in the French system.
Which makes me think, are they just a glass cannon? If you have all the beautiful attack in the world, does it mean anything if you get physically bullied by a 14-man South African squad? Is this just a well-funded mercenary operation that folds under pure pressure?
Well, total rugby relies entirely on front football. If your forwards are getting driven backward, your brilliant fly half is under immense pressure. Matching South Africa's sheer brutal physicality is the toll you have to pay just to step onto the pitch.
And this exact tension has ignited a fierce debate among the fans heading toward the 2027 World Cup.
Oh, the Rugby Pass comments section is completely divided on this arms race.
Let's talk about the points raised by the commenters. PR had a very compelling concern about France's habit of sending weakened teams on Southern Hemisphere tours.
Right, resting players, because the top 14 is a grueling 10-month season, but PR argues this is a fatal flaw. They point out that touring with a fully loaded squad is how you forge psychological invincibility.
Like England getting those vital confidence-building wins in 2003.
Exactly. PR is worried that by skipping these ultimate tests, France lacks the mental conditioning to look the Springboks in the eye. Plus, PR notes that Carlo Sadie might soon be capped for the Bucks, which would literally take away France's domestic scrum advantage and hand it to their rival.
Yeah, handing a weapon to the enemy. But then you have commenter SB who completely contrasts that view. SB points out that Ireland took their best team to New Zealand and won, but it didn't help them win the World Cup.
Yeah, SB emphasizes physical preservation. They argue the November loss happened because France was missing crucial Type 5 personnel.
SB insists the key is a healthy, strong scrum, specifically mentioning getting guys like Tavita Tatafu and Moses Elo Emily fully integrated, and having equal preparation time.
Right, prioritizing health over psychological conditioning.
But to me, France's touring policy feels like a student skipping the difficult mock exams and expecting to magically ace the final. Are the fans right to be worried that resting key players is a fatal flaw?
It's the ultimate sports psychology gamble. You can't just flip a switch in the 75th minute of a World Cup knockout match and suddenly manifest that irrational belief. You need the muscle memory of standing toe-to-toe with the Springbok pack.
You can't simulate that pressure in a lab.
No, you really can't. And that collision of philosophies is what makes the road to 2027 so compelling.
Absolutely. Which leaves us with a massive, provocative thought for the future. As the rules of rugby continuously evolve to favor high-scoring, fluid attacks, will South Africa's sheer, immovable physicality eventually become obsolete?
Or will it remain the one true antidote to the total rugby France is trying to perfect?
Exactly. We really want to hear from you on this. Will the rule book outpace the Springboks? Or does the bulldozer always crush the sports car? Please jump into the comments and share your thoughts and opinions on this incredible tactical arms race.
We read all of them, so let us know what you think.
And before you go, please don't forget to subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description.
It really helps us out.
Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive, and we'll look forward to you listening to our next episode.